There once lived a miller with his daughter. When the miller was at work all day turning grain into flour, he loved nothing more than to think up tall tales to amaze people. One day, the king came to town. He heard the miller talking about his daughter. The miller was saying that his daughter was the most amazing girl in their village, if not in all the land.
Hey you there, what is so amazing about your daughter?
Your Majesty, my daughter is so clever that she can spin straw into gold.
Spin straw into gold? That's amazing! She must come to my palace.
But,
He wished he had not told the king such a thing, but now it was too late. So the miller's daughter had to go to the king's palace at once. The king took her to a room piled with straw from floor to ceiling. He pointed
Now get
to the
to
spinning
work. If
wheel
by
in the middle
morning
of
you
the room.
haven't spun this straw into gold, you will die.
The king slammed the door and locked it behind him. The girl was all alone. For life of her, she didn't know what to
will
do.
I do?
She had
No
no
one can do
idea how to
such a
spin straw
thing.
into gold. Just
Did I
then,
hear you say?
an old little man
No one?
stood before her.
What? Where did you come from?
Never mind that. What matters is I can save your life. For a price, of course.
You can spin straw into gold? What kind of price do you have in mind?
What you give must be important to you. How about that necklace?
Indeed, my necklace is very dear to me, but not as much as my freedom. Very well, if by morning you can turn this room full of straw into gold, this necklace is yours.
The little man got to work. Very busy he was, all night long. Whir, 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 until morning. By then, not one piece of straw was left in the room. All of it was turned into piles of pure gold thread.
You did it!
Of course I did it. Now,
She took
hand
off
over
her
that
necklace and
A
gave
deal
it to
is a
him,
deal.
and he was gone. When the king stepped into the room, he was very glad.
Wow, look at that! Pure gold.
Yes. Now if you please, sir, I would like to go home now.
No, not so fast. I will have my servants bring you straw to fill up a room larger than this one. You will stay there tonight. Beware, by morning, all the straw must be spun into gold. If you care about your life. No buts
And
about
he
it.
left, slamming the door behind him. It locked with a click.
Oh, I was lucky last night. It will not happen again.
Who says?
The girl
Okay,
turned.
I will do this
And
job
before
for
her
you, but you
was
must
that
give me
old
that
little
rings
mannequin.
on your finger.
I always loved that ring, but after all, it is just a ring. Alright, it's a deal.
So the imp spun the straw all night. By morning, nothing but piles of spun gold trailing on the floor. The girl gave the ring to the imp, as he said she would do. The next morning, the girl felt sure that king would be so happy he would let her go home. But alas, if the rooms of gold looked good to a king, the rooms of gold looked even better. The king took the girl to the biggest room yet. He had already filled with straw. He told her she must turn that straw into gold by morning or else. This time, however, the king said his son was coming back from a long journey that very night. In the morning, he would send his son to the room to see if the work was done. If it was, she was to marry the prince.
Even though she is miller's daughter, I couldn't find any better wife for my son.
But he told the girl in a loud booming voice, if she could not do the task, she would marry no one at all, for she would die. When the king left, the girl fell into a deep gloom. How long will this go on? Would she ever get out? When she lifted her head, there was that little man
I bet
again.
you knew I would come back.
I could not know for sure, but this time I no longer have anything to give you. I cannot pay you anymore.
We will find a good price.
And he went to work, spinning the straw into
Stop,
gold.
please. I have nothing left to pay you.
There, all done. Now I will tell you my price.
That's not fair.
Lot of things are not fair.
Very well. What is your price?
Oh, nothing right now. But later, if you become queen, I will take your firstborn child.
What? I cannot imagine I would ever be queen. But even if I were, I would never agree to such a thing.
Oh, but you already have. The straw is spun into gold, and so the deal is made.
And he was gone. A moment later, a young man stepped into the room.
Miss, are you alright? I know how hard my father can be.
True that.
When I'm a king, I will not rule as he does.
The prince looked around. He saw the large piles of gold shining on the floor.
How can you do such a thing?
The girl said nothing.
I was told that if the straw were spun into gold by this morning, you were to marry me. But know this, if you really want to get out of here, I will help you. Don't worry, I will find a way to tell my father.
This young man was very different. The girl wanted to get to know him better. The two stayed in the room and talked about all sorts of things. Before long, they had fallen in love. Then he asked her to marry him, and the girl said yes. So the two were married. It was not long after the wedding when the terrible old king died. The prince became king and the miller's daughter became queen. In time, the new queen had a baby of her own, a son. Joy filled the palace. Until one day, when the queen was alone in her room, all of a sudden, the imp stood before her.
Give me what you promised. Now.
I never promise it. I will give you gold instead, more gold than you have ever seen.
Why do I need gold? I can make all the gold I want.
Then I will give you a castle.
I come and go where I want. What do I want with a castle?
Then I will give you servants to take care of you.
No one takes care of me, and no one even knows who I am.
I will find out who you are.
Oh, really? Very well. I will give you 3 days. After 3 days, if you cannot tell me my true name, the baby is mine. But if you guess my name, you can keep the baby for all I care, and no one must know about this. If you say but one word of this to anyone, the baby will be gone forever.
3 days is a long time to come up with a lot of names to the queen. And so she agreed. The next day, the queen wrote a very long list of every name she could think of. That night, in the baby's bedroom, the imp appeared before her.
Well,
The
Could
queen
your
read the
name
whole
be
list of
Nathan,
names one by one.
Lucas, Jacob, Hugo, Felix, Oliver?
not even close. See you tomorrow night.
The next day, the queen looked through every book in the royal library. She found names from faraway places, names she had never heard of. That night, when the imp appeared, the queen read her list.
Perhaps your name is Maximilian? No? How about a junior? Alfonso, Poindexter?
This is boring, but I will not be bored tomorrow night. The third night is when that baby is mine.
The third day, the queen didn't know what to do. She wished she could tell her husband her wish, but she dared not. She walked to one side of the room, then back again, back and forth, over and over.
This does not help a thing. If I have peace and quiet, maybe I will think of something.
She put on her royal cape and hood and walked outside the castle. The queen went into the woods. She followed a brook to a big lake and went past the lake to the deep forest hidden in the darkness. All of a sudden, the queen saw the light of a fire far away, and there was a voice that was hard to make out. There was something about the voice too, but what? She stepped closer. At last, there in front of a fire danced a little man. It was she, the very same imp. Very quietly, the queen listened. As the little man danced, he sang.
Tonight, my plans I make. Tomorrow, the baby I take. The queen will never win the game, for Rumpelstiltskin is my name.
That night, when Rumpelstiltskin appeared, the queen went through more names.
If your name Yusuf, how about Solomon?
No, 1,000 times no. You are wasting my time. I will give you one last kiss. Then, that is the end.
Well, I'm sure this is not right. But could your name be Rumpelstiltskin?
Rumpelstiltskin? How could you know?
He was so mad that he stamped his feet. He stamped them so hard that a very big hole opened in the ground, and he fell right down into it. And Rumpelstiltskin was never seen again.